Rangers have a tantalising treble in their sights. They've already lifted the Scottish League Cup and the brand new Scottish Premier League trophy, now for the Tennent's Scottish Cup. But how typical that Celtic should stand in their way, and they are seeking some silverware of their own. It's a disappointing day, though, for Craig Burley. He has to miss out through injury.
Yeah, I think Celtic will badly miss him. Just looking at the Celtic side, it's just difficult to see who's going to get forward into the box for him, and this is what this man does so well, timing his runs from midfield, being prepared to go beyond the front players, and Celtic will miss that this afternoon.
Last season, the old Rangers team were left with nothing. This season, the new Rangers team could have everything. The bookies favour them, but the omens favour Celtic, who've won the last 3 Old Firm Cup finals, all by the same score, 1-0. Everybody here today thinks there'll be a few more goals this time around.
I think Celtic's biggest worry this afternoon, Ian, will be in terms of match fitness, and by that I mean the likes of Lubo Moravcik, who's been out since February and must be short of games. He must need more games. Also Morten Weghorst, who's also suffered a very lengthy injury. And given the pace that this game is normally played at, it's going to be a big test for either of them this afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph Venglos asked Moravcik in particular for a good hour and nothing more.
Well, these teams are around about 5 minutes late coming out of their dressing rooms, which is surprising because I bet they are absolutely raring to go. Millions of people are watching these pictures in well over 100 countries. To Joe Venglos, hoping to win some silverware in his first season with Celtic. The Caprican over there already has some silverware in his first season with the Rangers. There are 52,000 inside Hampden Park. They're about to make you feel like you're here. Listen out for the new Hampden roar as the two teams enter this spectacular arena. It's an extraordinary event. It's Celtic against Rangers in the 1999 Tennent's Scottish Cup final. Amazing atmosphere and a handshake between the two managers, and indeed between the two sets of players.
Yeah, it's a nice touch, Ian, and I really do think the message has sunk in after the last Old Firm game that the players have to be more responsible. And speaking to them this week, I think every player on the pitch is aware of their responsibility this afternoon, and it really has to pass off peacefully given the audience watching this game this afternoon all over the world.
Who will lift the Tennent's Scottish Cup today? Will it be Lorenzo Amoruso or Tom Boyd? We are about to find out. Celtic playing their 48th final, Rangers their 46th. Who are the potential match winners today, I wonder? Lubomir Moravcik, perhaps? The supremely skillful Slovakian has only just returned to action after 3 months out injured. When Dr. Joe Venglos signed his fellow countryman for £300,000, nobody had heard of him, but they certainly know about him now. Neil McCann was in the hard side that ironically beat Rangers in last year's final. Now he's out to torment the team he supported as a kid, Celtic, just as he did at the start of the month, when his 2 goals and man of the match performance clinched the title at Celtic Park. Maybe the goal kings will grab the glory. Scottish football's player of the year, Henrik Larsson, has scored 38 times. Top scorer in Scotland. We are just about ready for the on. Place yourself on standby. Those of a nervous disposition, don't even think about it. Rangers, strangely today, have gone away from their usual squad number system. They are wearing 1 to 11. Celtic sticking with their squad numbers, though. So Tony Vidmar is wearing 5. Celtic have won the Scottish Cup 30 times, that's a record, but Rangers aren't far behind. 27 triumphs. Perini, it's over the head of Amato, and Jonathan Gould will get an early touch.
Yeah, I think even this early in the game we can see, as Dick Advocaat looks on there, that Tommy Boyd has in fact gone to pick up man for man Neil McCann, and Rico Annoni seems to have been told to take care of Rod Wallace. So really much as we expected.
Would it be just what the doctor ordered today? The Celtic hunt the Scottish Cup, and in the process hope to deny Rangers the treble. Colin Hendry finds Sergio Perini, one of the few survivors from last year's Cup final team. Such has been the remarkable transformation of Rangers this season. Perini ordered to go back a few yards by Hugh Dallas. Despite all that went on at the start of the month in that Celtic Rangers League clash, it never occurred to Hugh Dallas not to do this game. He's refereed around the world. Stubbs with his Celtic free kick in his 100th and surely last game for Celtic. Moravcik. Vidmar. Lorenzo Amoruso. Oh, Hendry gave it to Larsson. Amoruso has conceded a free kick.
It's all very scrappy, both sides giving the ball away a bit too cheaply at the moment. Larsson was just in front of Amoruso, taken there from the side.
And Bronckhorst got back to wrestle the ball back for Rangers, and now he's been felled.
Yeah, a good example of the skill here of Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Great footwork here to get away from Stubbs and Blinker, eventually brought down. What a good player this lad is.
Rod Wallace. He's having a run at Mialbi. No free kick that time, though. He's had a successful season in Scotland, Rod Wallace. 26 goals and a lot more besides. And he's been tricked by Enrico Annoni.
Yeah, completely mistimed the challenge here, Enrico Annoni. As Wallace tried to break in the right-hand side, and it's a chance now for Rangers to get Amoruso forward, Hendry forward to the back post, and put Jonathan Gould under some kind of pressure here.
Colin Hendry hasn't scored for Rangers yet. This would be a heck of a time. Celtic, though, could be on the counter-attack with Moravcik finding Larsson. Not much support at the moment, but this man might not need anyone. Although here is Reti Blinker, and there was just a little challenge on him from Van Bronckhorst as he went in looking for glory.
Yeah, it's a great defensive run from Van Bronckhorst as Blinker tried to break forward. Larsson sees him here. The ball's played in, but look at Van Bronckhorst. Great defensive play there from the Dutchman.
Alberts, Amoruso finds his fellow countryman Sergio Perini. Amato, this could be his farewell appearance for Rangers. A return to Spain seems likely for the Argentine. Tom Boyd, Beekhorst. Alberts looking for Amato and finding him. He still has a bit of work to do, but he appears to be doing it. Alberts. Couldn't have imagined it would take him too long to try and have a pop at goal. Moravcik looking to release Larsson, and this is promising with Annoni in support, but it didn't happen for Celtic. Rangers have contested 6 of the last 8 Scottish Cup finals, but Celtic are in the final for only the second time in 9 seasons.
Yeah, George Alberts appears to have taken a sore one out there on the far side. The hand was up there a moment ago. I think he's in need of some treatment. Seems to have been some distress over there.
Hendry, Perini, McInnes, straight to Paul Lambert, who won the Scottish Cup incidentally as a 17-year-old with St Mirren. Here he is again. Between them, these two massive clubs have managed to make 35 of the last 40 Scottish Cup finals. Hendry. Lorenzo Amoruso hoping to get to grips with his 3rd bit of silverware this season. Boyd, who missed the league game at the start of the month through suspension. And Moravcik is going to latch onto this. And a wonderful challenge from Hendry ensured he didn't make much progress.
Yeah, it was a good challenge here from Colin Hendry. The timing had to be perfect, and it was there as Moravcik broke forward. Celtic at the moment seem to be quite content to sit goal side, leave Rangers with the ball in the last third of the pitch. I think they've learned the lessons from the last game where they were caught with too many men forward at times.
Amato, Wallace, Alberts, with Fittmar in support. It's cleared by Boyd. There's still a bit to do. Weghorst gets the throw off Wallace. Morten Weghorst missed most of the season through injury. Reggie Blinker, Stefan Mahi, the fiery Frenchman. Lambert giving Stubbs a chance to have a little run. And that will be Stefan Klossis, without a doubt.
That's a poor ball, but it is important that Alan Stubbs is prepared to step forward. Rangers really playing with Amato up front on his own, so Stubbs really has to take every opportunity to step into the midfield, and he is comfortable enough with the ball at his feet to do that.
Away by Mialbi. Stefan Mahi received the first of the 3 red cards in that league game at the start of the month. Not that you probably needed reminding of that. Lovely ball from McInnes looking for Wallace. There's a handball claim there as Wallace went through.
Yeah, the whistle went right away. It's a good spot here from Hugh Dallas. Not very well positioned to see it, but he did see Wallace lower his left shoulder and play with his arm there.
Van Bronckhorst. Such a threat to Celtic. When he gets his crosses in. McCann. Celtic have learnt their lesson about him. He wasn't given much time. Blinker. Larsson. Here's Stefan Mahi. Larsson trying to bundle his way past McInnes, failing to do so. He hasn't scored for 4 games, Henrik Larsson. That's actually his worst run of the season. Mahi, dainty footwork, and he gets the corner off Amoruso.
Well, that's what Celtic will want to see, Stefan Mahi. I don't think he's the best defender in the world, but he is good coming forward. He's always willing to get into the last third. And he wins Celtic a corner here, which Moravcik, I would imagine, will try and whip right in under the crossbar and ask a few questions of Stefan Klos.
That's exactly where it goes from Moravcik, but Hugh Dallas spotted something straight away then.
Yeah, he does take a good corner, Lubo Moravcik. Always difficult for a goalkeeper. It's George Alberts who gets it away, but there's a bit of bumping going on there.
Return last week at Dundee United after 3 months out with a hamstring problem, Lubo Moravcik. Celtic rather glad to see him back. Amato with his fellow giant, Mialbi, not far away. Perini goes for the short throw in the end and found Amato. Now it's a Rangers corner off Mialbi.
Well, Stefan Mahi just got too close here to Gabriel Amato. Amato just spins him here to get to the byline. Mahi caught on the wrong side. Unfortunately enough, Mialbi was there to make the clearance.
Van Bronckhorst with the corner. Gould came. And he collected, and he sets up Moravcik. Tom Boyd's making quite a run. And he got to him eventually, but he had to track back a little. Paul Lambert. Boyd. to Alberts. It's rescued by Larsson. Blinker. Larsson. Crowded out. Here's Mahi. Moravcik outside of him. It's going to get to the little Slovakian eventually. Rangers can't quite dig it out at the moment. Weghorst. Larsson. Good challenge from Amoruso. He saw what was coming then.
Yeah, Rangers on the back foot, and there are periods in this fixture where you just have to sit tight, make sure you have enough players goal side and try and weather the storm.
Vidmar. He has McCann for company. Looking for the 1-2 with Wallace. And the Celtic free kick. D'Amato's foul.
Yeah, I don't think it's malicious, I think it's just mistimed. Typical forwards tackle. And Hugh Dallas was right on the spot there to give the decision.
Gabriel Amato played in the Spanish Cup final last season for Mallorca. They lost on penalties to Barcelona. Managed to hang on for penalties, in fact, despite having 3 players sent off. Vidmar recovered. Neatly away by Mialbi Semahi. Lambert. Weghorst, bit of space. And Weghorst and Blinker between them got into a bit of a mess. Will Neil McCann make them pay? Oh, he's taken out by Mialbi, and that's going to be the first yellow card of the Scottish Cup final.
Yeah, another early booking for Johan Mialbi. How many times have we seen that this season? The first time that McCann has managed to get space to run at defenders, and he does it so well, and he's taken clearly late there by the Swede, and it now means that Johan Mialbi, not for the first time this season, is walking on thin ice for the rest of this match.
Mialbi's 10th yellow card in 21 games for Celtic. He's also got a red. This looks like Albert territory. The man who agonisingly missed last year's Scottish Cup final through suspension. George Alberts went for the curler, to little avail.
Yeah, tried to be precise instead of going for power. It's a disappointing effort from George Alberts.
He has scored 19 goals this season. Alan Stubbs. Dealt with admirably by Perini. He's actually played more games this season than any other Rangers player. Tony Vidmar. Van Bronckhorst. Vidmar will leave the throw for Alberts. He wants some movement, and he gets it from McCann. Lubomir Moravcik. Took a little too much time. Amoruso. Wasn't so long ago. He was being booed by the Rangers fans, but they love him now. Amato. Fine footwork. Not a bad pass either. Vidmar. Oh, he's been taken out. Could be another yellow card from Moravcik. I don't think so. I think he's going to get away with the ticking off. He's hurt himself in the process anyway.
Yeah, I think he's lucky though. I think this is a booking. Vidmar finding loads of room on the left-hand side there. And he's clearly taken late while he was in a good position. I'm surprised that Hugh Dallas hasn't produced a yellow.
Celtic will be hoping that he's okay, as one or two players get a little over-agitated. Moravcik, such a key man to them today.
Well, he shouldn't have to find himself in that position anyway, and he's in the right back position there. He's had to run 50 yards to make the challenge. Celtic were just caught out on the left-hand side.
Hugh Dallas having a little chat with the Rangers skipper, Lorenzo Amoruso, taking the heat out of things, because it all threatened to flare up a little then. Dick Advocat with his assistant Bert van Lingen behind. Double Dutch management team. Moravcik is on his feet. Looks like Amoruso fancies having a pop. And he does! Side netting from the big Italian.
Yeah, Jonathan Gould not happy at the players on the wall here. He hit it well, Amoruso, just dragged it slightly wide of the target. But Jonathan Gould not happy with the defenders in front of him.
Amoruso made his Rangers debut against Celtic in the Scottish Cup in the semi-finals of the competition last season. Amato backing into Mialbi. And now Amato is going to get a stern talking to. I think he's got the message.
Yeah. Oh, he's backing in here to Johan Mialbi.
There's been another free kick awarded now. So Moravcik will try and create something here for Celtic. Moravcik sneaking it through to Larsson. He tries to turn Hendry. Oh, that bounced off Alberts. Back into the box. And then Lambert had a go! Oh, what a wonderful effort from Paul Lambert.
Yeah, it certainly was. It just sat up for him. And he hit it early. It was dipping and moving. Just didn't quite come down far enough for him. I don't think Stefan Klos knew much about this. His former Dortmund teammate, of course. Klos saved by the crossbar. That's a fine effort, a fine strike from Paul Lambert. And it just wouldn't come down early enough for him.
And Bronckhorst has conceded a free kick now. In the last few minutes, littered with free kicks. Moravcik. Boyd. Blinker. Made by Wallace. He's found Amato, who isn't going to be able to shake off Mialbi. Rangers very composed. Here's Perini. Amato gets the throw going his way. In fact, Hugh Dallas has overruled it, I think.
Yeah, Hugh Dallas does overrule his assistant there.
Celtic have won 4 of their last 5 Scottish Cup finals. But they haven't been in them as often as they would like to be. A miscue by Kloss. Blinker, it's going to go behind Anoni. On by Larsson to Moravcik. First time from Blinker. Compromisingly away from Amoruso, who is really making his presence felt. And what a considerable presence he has.
Yeah, the most improved player in the country, arguably. Rangers supporters didn't fancy him at all when he came to Glasgow. But this is his cup of tea, this kind of game this afternoon, a real physical contest, and he'll be up for it.
Well, a little nudge from Colin Hendry, and Moravcik gives Celtic a chance to swing one into the box. And it will be Moravcik who will do just that. Stubbs is jostling for position. Oh, away by Kloss. Stubbs the nearest man to him.
Yeah, Kloss did well there under pressure, and we know it doesn't come for too many, but he did the right thing there, managing to get a fist on it.
Rico Anoni with a long throw. Met by Amoruso. Surprise, surprise. Lambert now leading this Celtic charge. Weghorst off Vidmar, corner.
Yeah, Alan Stubbs on his own at the back post there, and he's screaming there at Morten Weghorst. He took up great position here. If you watch Stubbs attacking the back post here, he wanted to deliver. He didn't get it. Celtic don't have a corner, and they're having a good spell in this match.
And it comes from Moravcik. Out it goes from Albert. And the feet were high. From Albert. Moravcik, just too high for Stubbs, who was impeding anyway.
Yeah, Henry did well there to stand his ground, because Stubbs is pretty good when the ball is in the air. Colin Henry did well up to the physical challenge.
Amato. Hugh Dallas had a big look at that one. Lambert. Anoni. Oops. Lambert to Blinker. McInnes snapped in, and Rod Wallace might just get to this, you know. He has done! Wallace is in! Oh! And Jonathan Gould just managed to get his hands on it as Rod Wallace lost control of it at a vital time.
Yeah, Jonathan Gould did well. Rod Wallace just too quick here for Rico Anoni. And so far Wallace hasn't had a sniff, but he's away from him here. His control just lets him down at the vital moment there, but Jonathan Gould did well to make up his mind early. Come and close Wallace down there. That's a touch that led Wallace down, and that's why Gould managed to get both gloves on it eventually.
Lambert to Moravcik. Oh, Lambert, that was lovely. To Weghorst. Only Larsson's in the middle at the moment. It's Stefan Kloss's ball, who won the European Cup with Borussia Dortmund. Davey said Paul Lambert was his teammate in those days. Opponents today. And when Borussia Dortmund beat Juventus, Sergio Perini was in the losing Juventus team. It's a small world. Blinker. Mjällby. Hendry lets it bounce for a Rangers throw. Henrik Larsson, 38 goals this season. They've dried up towards the end of the campaign, though. He's had a quiet spell since he agreed a new long-term contract with Celtic. It's only 4 goals, 4 games without a goal, but for Henrik Larsson that is a barren spell. Not sure what Van Bronckhorst had in mind then. That's very unusual for him.
Yeah, it's not like him at all. The service really to Amato and McCann has been pretty poor for the last 10-15 minutes. I think Rangers would have been anxious before this game to try and get Neil McCann on the ball as often as possible. To be fair to Tom Boyd, he's done a pretty good marking job on the former Hearts man so far this afternoon.
Celtic have only won 3 of their last 20 meetings with the Rangers. They won't be worrying too much about that statistic if they can put it off today. Hendry, Amato. What a tussle with Mjällby. It keeps going though, Amato. Now Van Bronckhorst. Oh dear. The less said about that one, the better, I think.
Yeah, Gabriel Amato not happy here. I think he felt he was pulled there by Johan Mjällby. I think Paul Lambert trying to get the message across to Mjällby that he's already been booked. This was the shot here from Van Bronckhorst. He didn't go to make the space. A poor effort though from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, but Hugh Dallas has his work cut out here. Game starting to boil over a bit.
He's having a word with Derek McInnes now. Hugh Dallas certainly taking the no-nonsense approach. He's had a few stern words to say, but he's only produced the 1 yellow card so far for Johan Mjällby. There's a bit of a delay at the moment because Morten Weghorst has decided to change his boots. Having said that, they're getting on with the game, quite rightly so. Not much sign of a goal so far in this Old Firm Cup final. There has to be a winner on the day, whether via extra time or the drama of a penalty shooter. McInnes. McCann, who hasn't made much of an impact so far from the Hearts team that beat Rangers in last year's final. Plenty of vocal support for both sides. No surprise there. Mahi's throw. Lambert. Larsson. Away from Hendry. Here's Lambert. Anoni. Weghorst. Doesn't quite get it back from Moravcik. The Rangers throw. Morten Weghorst getting his chance in the team today, with Vidar Riseth, the Norwegian international, ruled out. And we hear, in fact, that Riseth will play for Norway in their Euro Championship qualifier tomorrow against Georgia in Oslo. I'm sure he would have liked to have been here today, though. Stubbs. Rather Boyd finding Larsson. Amato. And Maruso with a peach of a pass to Albert. And here's Neil McCann. And he was snuffed out by Boyd as he tried to get on the end of that.
Yeah, identical to the goal he scored at Celtic Park just a few weeks ago, the front post run. And what a good piece of defending from Tom Boyd here to get back and make the challenge.
Amato to Wallace. Still Amato. Twisting, turning, barging, bundling. Richie Blinker finds himself in some space and finds Weghorst in even more. Larsson back to Weghorst. Ultimately disappointing for Celtic. Well, it's playoff weekend at Wembley, of course, in England. Sunday at 2 on Sky Sports 2, Gillingham against Manchester City for a place in Division 1. And then on Monday, at the same time, it's Bolton against Watford going for a place in the Premiership. McCann has got away from Boyd here. And McCann sent it in. And Amato nearly on the end of it, but fortunately for Celtic, Jonathan Gould was.
Oh, it was a tempting ball in there by Neil McCann to the back post. And once again, Jonathan Gould does well to react quickly.
Here's Larsson meantime. A horrible bouncing ball for Rangers. And Larsson almost capitalised. That's the old firm game for you. It goes from one end to the other in no time.
Yeah, certainly no protest from Henrik Larsson here. Some of the Celtic supporters claiming a penalty. Certainly wins the ball first. Kloss, I think it's a good glove in the ball there. And Henrik Larsson himself was making no complaint at all.
Stefan Kloss is in need of a little bit of treatment too. He's hurt his arm.
Well, this was a ball in from Neil McCann here. He looks up here. Delightful ball played into a tempting area there for Amato, who came in on the blind side of Mjällby, and Jonathan Gould did well once again there. Penalty claim here. Amaruso holds him off. Larsson gets ahead of Henry, but Kloss certainly plays the ball there.
Both players are back in business. Larsson and Kloss. Hendry, the championship winner now, north and south of the border. Anoni. Van Bronckhorst almost put it through to Wallace, but it was a timely challenge from Stubbs. Moravcik showing us just what he's all about. Larsson, and I think there was a handball from Larsson there as he tried to get past Amaruso.
Yeah, good play by Moravcik to release Larsson on the right-hand side there, and he did appear to arm the ball. The flag went up very early anyway. And there it is there, just a left arm contact with the ball, and the assistant referee got it spot on.
Henrik Larsson, Scottish football's Player of the Year, the Football Writers' Player of the Year, and Sweden's Player of the Year. Not done too badly then. Hendry. He was fouled by Moravcik then. And Hugh Dallas was waiting to see where it all ended up before giving it.
Yeah, I think he's signalling that it was the use of the arm there that caused the problem. Pretty scrappy so far, either side finding it hard to make chances. Neil McCann really hasn't been in it a great deal, principally down to Tommy Boyd's marking job on him. And at the other end, I think Henrik Larsson has been left too isolated. Moravcik we knew would drift anywhere across the front, but it really is up to both Weghorst and Blinker to get forward and support Larsson, and so far they really haven't managed to do that.
Wallace shadowed by Annoni. Alberts. Derek McInnes, who actually played in the English FA Cup this season with Stockport. Hendrick. Amato full of tricks. That one didn't work.
Yeah, just asked a bit too much there of Sergio Perini, who as usual was willing to come forward. Good reverse ball here from Amato, and he just overcooked it.
Mahi gives it back to Stubbs. Wallace. Amato was always struggling to get there.
Yeah, meanwhile, Reggie Blinker gets the likes here from Hugh Dallas as well. A few quiet words in a few years, and Hugh Dallas so far has managed to keep the lid on this match, which was always going to be difficult for him.
Oh, Amaruso and Larsson entangle with each other. Van Bronckhorst. Rangers last won the Scottish Cup in '96, and the last final played here at Hampden. They thrashed Hearts 5-1. Celtic won it the year before when they beat Airdrie in '95. We're inside the final 4 minutes of the first half. Neither side has had much of a glimpse of goal. Perini. Amato. Stray one. Sets up Lambert. Moravcik. Obstructed by Vidmar, was he? He was.
And here we see it. Vidmar couldn't get much closer here. The right arm's up here, a tug at the shot. And that's why the Slovak was unhappy.
Moravcik's cross. Stubbs is in there, putting himself about, but Stefan Klos, who has been criticised for not dealing with crosses too well, dealt with that one.
Well, he did well. The ball's in the air a long time, but he kept his eye on it. And strong wrist there to hold on to that under pressure from Henrik Larsson.
And that kind of sums up the first half in many ways from Amaruso.
Yeah, not a great deal in it in terms of possession. Rangers just shading it. But chances very few and far between. Normally we would expect a couple of chances for either side this far into the match, but it really hasn't happened so far.
Perini. Rangers fans shouting man on, and coming to Derek McInnes' aid. Wallace. Vidmar is well advanced. Alberts is behind. Van Bronckhorst. And Alberts overhits it in his efforts to put Vidmar through.
Yeah, I mean, both sides are lacking natural width here this afternoon, Ian. I mean, we know that Kanchelskis isn't playing for Rangers. Neil McCann playing through the middle. Celtic, likewise, really don't have a natural wide player. And consequently, they're finding it hard to get in behind.
There'll be 2 minutes of added on time in this first half, which has been a little tentative. Seaghorst. And Bronkhorst won it back. Wallace aiming to release McCann, but Boyd gets there first. Lubomir Moravcik. Paul Lambert. Loney finds himself well forward. Marusso's clearance. Here's Weghorst. Away by Vidmar to Alberts. And his fancy flip finds Van Bronckhorst. And now McInnes. And now McCann. Alberts. It's McCann. Away by Blinker, but only to Derek McInnes. And it would have been some story if he'd scored in his first start for Rangers this season.
Well, Rangers just couldn't get the ball into the box quickly enough. They had men over at the back post when Neil McCann broke. It was a poor ball in from Neil McCann, unusually so for him. Derek McInnes, who's been playing the holding role in front of the Rangers 4 there, getting forward for the first time in the match.
I saw that was happening. Stefan Mahi was flat out, but he's now on his feet. And a little bit of treatment. Mahi won the French Cup with Auxerre a few years back. Quite like the Scottish one now. Anoni. Moravcik. Hendry snapped in. And Alberts is the beneficiary, except that the half-time whistle has gone. There haven't been too many chances coming the way of either side in this first half, but Paul Lambert almost beat his old Borussia Dortmund teammate Stefan Klos from long range. Rod Wallace was a threat for Rangers as well, as he has been for most of the season. It was cleanly struck this by Lambert, and it was close, that close. And then Rod Wallace so nearly got through for Rangers until that moment, when it all went wrong. It's honours even at half-time in the Old Firm Cup final. Celtic 0, Rangers 0. Celtic hoping to avoid a trophyless season. Something they've got pretty used to in recent times, in fact. It'll be Rangers to start the second half of the 1999 Tennent's Scottish Cup final. These two teams, the Giants of Glasgow, locked together at 0-0 at the New Hampden Park. I wonder what was said in the dressing rooms.
I really don't think either side really has gone for broke so far, Ian. I think it's all been far too cautious so far. I tend to agree with Graham. I think as the game wears on, I think at least one of the sides will say, well, we've got to go for it now. It's a cup final, not really interested in going to penalties. This has to be won over the 90 minutes. I'd be very surprised if the second half isn't a lot more entertaining than the first.
Vidmar. And here is Tony Vidmar. It opens up for him. Superb save from Jonathan Gould. And Rangers signal their intentions right at the start of the second half.
Well, a super play from Vidmar. A good exchange here with Alberts to make the space, and he caught it well enough. That's a fine reflex save again from Jonathan Gould.
Here is Vidmar, who he was caught in possession by Lubo Maravchik. He will have to wait for support. Weghorst. Came off Wallace. Celtic's throw. Rod Wallace watched his brother Danny win the FA Cup with Manchester United in 1990. He's after a cup of his own. Here's Mahi. Hendry held him up temporarily, and the outcome of all that is a goal kick.
Yeah, Colin Hendry did well there. It was a good reverse ball there from Blinker to find Mahi in space, and Hendry once again stayed on his feet as long as possible. Eventually goes to ground, but the timing of the challenge was perfect.
One of Rangers' many big money buys. Colin Hendry joined early season from Blackburn. Hasn't played in as many games as he would have liked because of various injuries. And he is carrying a groin injury. Weghorst finding Larsen. Blinker. Weghorst. No free kick. Sergio Perini. And Wallace fouled Annoni.
Yeah, Annoni relieved there. He took the gamble of going in front of Rod Wallace and was caught on the wrong side. Hugh Dallas gives him the benefit of the doubt there. Otherwise, Wallace was breaking into a good area. Just eases Annoni off the ball. Otherwise, he was in a very good position.
Marusso's clearance cannoned off Weghorst. Neatly nodded back by Hendry. Mialbi. In step D'Amato for Rangers. And Bronkhorst. Vidmar. It went away from Wallace, but it comes back to him! And Rangers are in front in the Scottish Cup final! And it's Rod Wallace!
Well, who else? The man who really has lit up Rangers' season since he came north of the border. Once again, Vidmar was involved in the left-hand side here. And it's played in behind Wallace there. It eventually breaks to him, sits up perfectly. Jonathan Gould exposed and left with absolutely no chance. Just sits up beautifully for him, and he was never going to miss from this range. Falls behind him there, gets the break of the ball off Neil McCann. And you can see the delight in Dick Advocaat's face.
Rod Wallace with his 27th goal of the season. He really has been, arguably, Rangers' best signing. And when you consider that they've spent £38 million, he didn't cost a thing. Wallace arrived on a free transfer from Leeds. Alberts. D'Amato. Oh, that was sensational to dispose of Mialbi. And now he finds Alberts, who tries one of his killer drillers. Maravchik. Mahi, hoping to give the Celtic fans at that end something to celebrate. But it's won back by Wallace. D'Amato offside.
Yeah, very, very tight. Mialbi felt that the assistant referee was slow in putting the flag up. Melby stepped up here just as the ball was played. And it was a late flag. And Melby's somewhat relieved. As the ball's played here, Melby had just stepped up. He's half a yard offside.
Rangers on course for the treble, which they last did 6 years ago. Paul Lambert. Moravcik. And that will run through to Stefan Klos.
Well, once again, the Larsson was up front on his own, and he's had absolutely no support. I don't think he's played particularly well, Henrik Larsson, but he's had no support from midfield. I just wonder about the fitness of Martin Veikos. He's been out for such a long time, and if I was Joseph Venglos, I would certainly be thinking about throwing on Phil O'Donnell.
Vidmar. Vidmar again. Celtic's free kick. Blinker. Leaves it for Moravcik. Mahi. Anoni. Away by Amoruso, but only to Morten Veghorst. It falls favourably for Henrik Larsson. He got past one, but not the other. It's gone out. It'll be a Celtic throw.
Yeah, I think Rangers will be quite happy now to sit in and hit on the counter-attack, and they're so good at that, as we saw at Celtic Park last month. And that's the danger for Celtic now, being sucked forward and being caught in the break.
Moravcik. Boyd, can he deliver? It's not bad! Larsson flung himself at it.
Glorious delivery here on the right-hand side from Tom Boyd. Whipped it in there. Larsson at full stretch, just can't get on the end of it. And that's what Celtic haven't done so far this afternoon. Produced a good ball into the box.
Larsson has scored 3 times against Rangers this season. He could do with another. It's advantage Rangers at the moment in this Old Firm showdown. The Rangers fans know how to celebrate. They've already done a fair bit of it this season. Having seen their side lift the League Cup and, of course, the Scottish Premier League trophy. Yet more silverware could be heading their way.
Yeah, I think fitting that Rod Wallace got the goal as well, Ian. What a contribution he's made throughout this season. Still a bit of football left in this match, though, I can assure you of that.
Amato just ran over the line, that.
And this is the goal that broke the deadlock. Well, played in by Vidmar. It's behind Wallace here, but it breaks perfectly for him. And Jonathan Gold, to be fair, left without a halt.
Here's Lambert, though. Blinker trying to sneak in. Amato chasing it for all it's worth. He never gives up. And he's got the throw. Tommy Johnson, one of these Celtic subs, is warming up. He's been out for a year with a terrible knee injury. Just to return to action, Alberts. Amoruso won that battle with Larsson. In the second half of this season, he really has been a tower of strength.
Yeah, he doesn't lose many 50-50 balls these days. And once again, he's kept Henrik Larsson very, very quiet. He didn't give Mark Viduka a sniff in the last Old Firm match, so he can be well pleased with his contribution in the last couple of Glasgow derbies. I think he's also led by example this afternoon as well. I think you need somebody to look up to. I think he's given Rangers a lead by the way he's played this afternoon.
Questions are being asked of Celtic now, and they come up with some answers. Stubbs, Blinker, Lambert, hassled by Wallace, but he hangs on. Weghorst, Mialbi, away by Hendry, but only to Lambert. Anoni. It was sloppy from Anoni. Rangers in the mood now with Perini looking for Amato, but it's too near the keeper. Stubbs. Mialbi. The only man to be booked so far in this Old Firm Cup final. McCann seemed to hurt himself as he tried to challenge Mialbi. Anoni. Lambert. Neil McCann is down. But Celtic are still going for goal. To be fair to them, I don't think they've even realised that McCann is down. Now they might. Blinker. McCann has now managed to stagger to his feet.
Yeah, he's still limping very heavily though. It seems to be his right thigh that's the problem for Neil McCann. Try and shake it off. I'm sure he doesn't want to throw the towel in at this stage, and this is what caused the damage. This catches the knee, I think, of Johan Mjällby there.
Celtic are going to bring on Tommy Johnson shortly, unless something happens here. Larsson, but again, Amoruso is in his way. McInnes made sure that was his. Alberts, Van Bronckhorst. Nowhere to go, apart from back to Alberts. Vidmar. Stubbs. Blinker. Larsson. Now Weghorst. Moravcik. Now by Van Bronckhorst.
Well, Hugh Dallas is no more than a few yards away here. Once again, it's an example of the quick feet here of Lubo Moravcik. The arm from Van Bronckhorst goes up. Celtic about to make this change at long last here, and it's not before time. Joseph Venglos has to do something here. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for a double substitution.
Well, Tommy Johnson is going to come on for Enrico Anoni. Now, there was a quick free kick taken there by Celtic. and they were getting on with it, and then Hugh Dallas blew up for the substitution, so there was a little confusion, and I think that's what the players are having a whinge about. And Oni is off. Tommy Johnson, who really has had a sorry time at Celtic, he was out of favour under Wim Jansen, and then had a terrible knee injury, which kept him out for a year. Is he going to be their hero?
Well, certainly worth the gamble. It's the cup final, for goodness sake. It's worth taking the chance, although it will release Rod Wallace, who I know he has marked very well today.
Lambert's free kick aimed towards Stubbs. Blinker missed his kick. Mahi blocked by Amarusa. Another chance for Celtic. Blinker's cross. Stubbs didn't make much contact, but here's Weghorst. Splendid save from Stefan Klos, one of the best shot stoppers around. Albert. Celtic are giving it a go now. Boyd. Vidmar took it away from him, but here's Lambert. Wrestled back by Van Bronckhorst.
What a good save it was from Stefan Klos here. Martin Weghorst fair at the back post as it breaks to him. It's time to take the touch, measure it. He got it well on target. A good save by Klos. You can't really ask any more from Martin Weghorst here than what he did. He struck it well enough on target.
Blinker. He's not got the shout of a man on, and Blinker is in trouble with Hugh Dallas here for his challenge on McInnes.
Yeah, it was just a poor touch that let him down. It broke away from him and he ended up stretching. And that's a reckless challenge. I don't think he can have any complaints that he's been shown a yellow for that. He broke away from him there. McInnes is lucky he didn't get a bad one there. Still requiring attention, I have to say. Derek McInnes still down there.
Richie Blinker, the second player to be booked in the cup final. His teammate Johan Mjalby was the first.
Here it is once again. He's over the ball there. It's a bad challenge.
Crunching challenge from Reggie Blinker. Vidmar. Neil McCann. Wallace taken out by Weghorst.
I think he was impeded, but it was a bit theatrical here from Rod Wallace.
Van Bronckhorst with this Rangers free kick. A two-man wall proving rather effective, but Van Bronckhorst will try again. There's Boyd though. Rangers are going to bring on Ian Ferguson soon. That'll be some return for him after 5 months out injured. Weghorst looped in the direction of Tommy Johnson. Trying to shake off Colin Hendry. That'll take some doing. And there's the proof.
Yeah, once again Colin Hendry refused to dive in. And he's had a superb match at the back there for Rangers alongside Amaruso.
Albert's looking for Amato, but Stubbs will roll it back to Gould. Rangers still waiting to make that change. McCann chasing this. Nicely done by Boyd. I tell you, it looks like Rangers are going to take off Gabriel Amato when they can finally make the substitution. Lambert. Moravcik. Oh, it nearly carried to Tommy Johnson. Weghorst and it came back to Stubbs. Second chance. Stefan Klos keeps Rangers on course for the cup.
Superb save from Klos there. And Stubbs really couldn't have struck the second effort much better than he did. And he's up in support here. Comes back off Hendry. He caught the second one flush. You can see his hands on his head there. He couldn't have struck that any cleaner. Klos did well to beat it away.
Agony on the Celtic bench. The Rangers have had to change their substitution plans as well, because although the initial idea was to bring off Gabriel Amato, I don't think Neil McCann has shaken off a couple of knocks he's got, and he may be the one to make way for Ian Ferguson. Still, they can't make it. This could be the most long-awaited substitution in the history of football. Well, Ian Ferguson is actually a survivor from the last Old Firm Cup final of 1989. In 1987, he scored the winner for St Mirren against Dundee United in the final.
Yeah, it's a big blow for Rangers are losing this man. It was clearly quite a heavy thigh knock he took. It clearly has stiffened up. He's tried to run it off for the last 10 minutes. Clearly feels he can't continue. And this is a man who's been over the course so many times before. Who knows what this fix is all about.
Tony Bidmar. Lambert played with Ian Ferguson in that final of 87, in fact. Stubbs now. We're midway through the second half. Rod Wallace's goal right at the start of the half, separating the sides. What can Celtic do about it? Everything they possibly can do, I suspect, in their quest for an equaliser. That was disappointing, though, from Stubbs. I think he expected someone to make the run out.
Yeah, there have been quite a few occasions as Dick Advocat tries to get his instruction onto the pitch. Quite a few occasions today where Stubbs has been looking for runners, and there has been nobody at all in front of him prepared to drive himself forward into the channels, into the corners, and make themselves available.
Blinker. Mahi. This looks pretty promising. Tommy Johnson. Hoofed away by Ian Ferguson.
Yeah, it was a good knockdown there at the back post from Tommy Johnson. Ian Ferguson in exactly the right position. Celtic have no choice now, they really have to go for it.
Boyd. Lambert. Moravcik. Away by Hendry. Lorenzo Amoruso won the Italian Cup a few years back with Fiorentina. Scored in the final, in fact, for them. Albi is penalised. Rangers have a free kick, and there are 20 minutes left in the 1999 Tennant Scottish Cup final. Amato. Albert. Support arriving on the right from Perini, but it didn't reach him, and Celtic now looking for something, but Klos with a header. And the feet were high from Paul Lambert.
Yeah, Paul Lambert showing the sole of the boots here. Just before that, a decent break by Celtic. I think every time Celtic have the ball, Alan Stubbs has to step off the back now into the midfield area.
Sergio Perini. Hendry. Amato. Lambert. Having a look at the available options. Deciding on Mahi. Gets it back from Venka. Lambert now for Stubbs. It comes back to him. Away by Hendry. And Mahi nearly was in for an equaliser.
Well, it all came from Stubbs' willingness to step forward there. As the ball comes in, it falls perfectly for Mahi at the back post here. The header from Stubbs across the face of the goal, touch from Hendry. And just rolls straight to Stefan Klos. May even have been Derek McInnes that came off the final effort.
Alberts, Van Bronckhorst. A few tired limbs around now. At the end of a long season, which in Scotland began on the first day of August. Although for Celtic and Rangers, before that was their preliminary European games. Alberts. Vidmar, lots of his friends and family watching this game in Australia. Mahi, who had that decent chance to equalise. Lambert has been superb for Celtic. Stubbs. Johnson turns. Now Weghorst. Will it open up for Celtic? Johnson! Oh, it's just wide. Corner.
Well, they're starting to find openings for the first time in the match. Weghorst checks onto his left side here. And it's deflected just past the post, but it's encouraging for the first time in the match from Celtic. They're starting to get a few half chances here.
Corner won't be taken just yet though, because in that move, Alan Stubbs was injured and is in need of treatment. So too, in fact, is Colin Hendry at the same time.
Well, you can see Alan Stubbs overstretching there in at the back of Rod Wallace. He falls heavily, and they'll want him back on his feet. He's so important for Celtic. Knock on the inside of the right knee, it seems to be.
Well, it's playoff weekend at Wembley, and you can see all the action on Sky Sports, of course. Gillingham, Manchester City tomorrow, Bolton, Watford on Monday. Moravcik's corner. So many players in the thick of it, jostling for position then.
Yeah, it was Stubbs again attacking it to the back post. A difficult one for Stefan Klos to come for.
Stubbs will be ready to give it another go. Mialbi and Weghorst also in there. Doesn't reach any of them. Now it might though. Away by Hendry. Moravcik to Lambert. Larson. Has he got something left in his season yet? Moravcik. Away by Amoruso as Weghorst flew in.
Yeah, we're seeing the best of Hendry and Amoruso now as Rangers are pinned back.
Moravcik to try again for Celtic. It's not happening for them yet, but it might do. Once again, Amoruso met it for Rangers. Oh, and Amato's away here. McInnes has put him away. He's absolutely on his own. He's about to have 4 men around him. You have to say the odds were slightly against him.
Yeah, he needed help there and just didn't get it. Rangers with too many men back and across their own 18-yard box, and I think Dick Advocaat will want them out of there.
Moravcik. Oh, it was taken away by Amoruso. McInnes.
That's a good ball in here from Moravcik. But Rangers have done well on the back foot this afternoon. Amoruso and Henry have both been first class.
The Rangers are going to bring on Andrei Kanchelskis for the final 13 minutes. And the man who's going to make way is the man who was going to take the throw in then, Sergio Perini.
Well, Kanchelskis will give them an out ball. They don't have that at the moment. They're pinned back. And with somebody of Kanchelskis' pace up front, these Rangers can knock it in behind the Celtic rearguard. And he'll be quick enough to hold it up.
Kanchelskis hasn't had the best of luck against Celtic this season. Broke his arm in one game against them. Missed the championship clincher at the start of this month with a chest infection. Left on the bench today. But the man who won the English FA Cup with Manchester United comes on to try and seal the Scottish Cup for Rangers. There'll be another change in a moment. And Celtic throw on Phil O'Donnell. Here's Larsson. It's gone out for a throw. Kanchelskis will take this throw. Johnson. Henrik Larsson. Straight across.
Yeah, it was a decent chance as well. Just sits up nicely for Henrik Larsson here. And he hits it straight at Stefan Klos. It really hasn't been Henrik Larsson's afternoon at all.
Now by Amato, who was tugging Johan Mjällby. One of them was smiling, and it wasn't Mjällby who, along with Henrik Larsson, will be up against England next week at Wembley. Sky Sports as well. Stefan Mahi is being replaced by Phil O'Donnell.
Yeah, I think Celtic have lacked a midfield runner in the absence of Craig Burley, who's always prepared to get himself into the box beyond the strikers. They've lacked that this afternoon. And the introduction of Phil O'Donnell, for me, not before time.
Phil O'Donnell and Simon Donnelly will both join Sheffield Wednesday in the summer. Johnson. Hendrick. Mjällby won the battle with Amato that time. Amato never gives up on a lost cause. So popular with the Rangers fans, but it was almost certain to be his last game for the club, with Valencia keen to bring him back to Spain. And Dick Advocaat has already signed the Dutch striker Michael Mols for next season. Brinker. Larsson is offside.
Yeah, it's straight a couple of yards offside there. He wanted it earlier. He's come off Reggie Blinker here and he's clearly offside. Hands up right away there from Lorenzo Amoruso.
We're inside the last 10 minutes. Unless Celtic can maybe force extra time. Quick free kick was taken, even though the Celtic man is still down. But here's Albertz meantime. Albertz breaking, and he sends it across for Gabriel Amato, and Jonathan Gould has kept Celtic's hopes alive.
Well, that's a magnificent save from Jonathan Gould there with his left foot. Rangers had men over here as Albertz broke. It's time to look up, plays it in. Amato had time to measure it, and that's a fabulous stop there from Jonathan Gould. Why Celtic were in a hurry to take the free kick when Paul Lambert was down injured, I really don't know.
Jonathan Gould making his 90th appearance for Celtic today. A fairly inauspicious career in England. It has been a supreme success in Scotland. Giovanni van Bronckhorst with his Rangers corner. Can Rangers close in on the cup? It's gone towards the near post, and Eagles has scrambled that behind for another corner.
Yeah, like Moravcik, Van Bronckhorst takes a superb corner. Look at the pace and the movement on this. The goal kick's actually given. Rod Wallace apparently got the last touch, but it's a superb corner there from Van Bronckhorst.
Albertz. Late lunge at him.
There's a booking here, I think, for Morten Vekost. Just as George Albertz clears it there, Morten Vekost catches him late. The ball's away there as he's caught.
And indeed, it is a yellow card. Third Celtic man to go into Hugh Dallas's notebook. Mjällby, Brinker, and now Vekost. The new Hampden Park open today. 51,746 present in this magnificent arena. Millions more watching all around the world. The Rangers fans starting their celebrations. Dangerous thing to do in football. Boyd. Stubbs. Boyd finding Mjällby. It's time to gamble for Celtic. Not like that though. Mjällby caught by Albertz. And he's taken out by Tom Boyd, who is also going to get a card here from Hugh Dallas.
Yeah, he was skinned there by George Albertz on the left-hand side. A good break by George Albertz. He's away from Tom Boyd. Tony Boyd well late with the challenge, and maybe relieved that it was only a yellow he was shown there.
Fourth yellow card, quickly following the third one. Maruso seemingly sizing it up. Surely he's not going to have a go from this sort of area. He does have a go! Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll take it back because he wasn't far off.
It's a decent effort. And it is an audacious attempt there. And again, it's moving, it's dipping. And a bit like Paul Lambert's in the first half, it just doesn't come down quickly enough, but it's a fine strike there from Amaruso.
Powerful header from Amaruso. Mjällby knows that Amato is lurking. shirt-tugging going on. Knocked back by Mialbi. Stubbs. Boyd. O'Donnell. It's straight to Van Bronckhorst. Now Amato. And he's released Kanchelskis. He keeps it in. Kanchelskis looks to pick out Wallace, but it's met by Stubbs. Time for a Celtic surge. Although Stubbs is under pressure from Van Bronckhorst, he's got the free kick, which, as you could expect, he's in a hurry to take, and Rob Wallace is going to get a ridiculous yellow card for that.
Yeah, it's stupidity there from Rod Wallace, clear encroachment right in front of Hugh Dallas, just wasn't going to allow Alan Stubbs to take it early.
Wallace was sent off in the last Old Firm clash. Boyd's free kick. O'Donnell's header. And Celtic pierced this Rangers defence. Alves. It was well won back by Weghorst. And here's Moravcik. Away by Amoruso, who's met everything. Well, almost everything. When he hasn't met it, Hendry has. Weghorst. All crosses flapped a little. Stubbs is there. Lambert. Was that handball from Amoruso? Hugh Dallas has a look and says no.
Well, I'd like to see this one again. Comes out here, it's Lambert with the outside of the right foot as it breaks here. And I'll tell you what, I think Celtic have a case there. It's all down to the intent, and I think Lorenzo Amoruso lowers his right shoulder there.
Moravcik sent it in. It was met by Vidmar. And I think that was a bit of a barge from Amoruso.
Well, we're due a bit of controversy. It passed off so peacefully, but the Celtic supporters clearly feel they should have had a penalty.
Here's Blinker. Hugh Dallas, of course, gave Rangers a penalty when they clinched the title at Celtic Park amid great controversy. Celtic didn't get one then. Kanchelskis can relieve some of the pressure on the Rangers' goal. Celtic desperately need to get it back ASAP. Ian Ferguson across to Van Bronckhorst. Celtic fans fuming at that earlier incident.
Well, they could have done without it, Hugh Dallas, because he's had a flawless match. And we've been saying it all season, it's all down to the intent. And if you watch Lorenzo Amoruso, he lowers his right shoulder here. And I think to play it with his upper arm, it's a tough one for Hugh Dallas to call.
Moravcik. It's going to dribble away from Johan Mialbi. Man of the match, Davey.
Well, the man just involved there, Lorenzo Amoruso. Celtic have put Rangers under a lot of pressure since the goal. Both Hendry and Amoruso have had to stand up to that pressure. A lot of cross balls into the area. And Amoruso has been outstanding in the way he's attacked them. He's my tenant's man of the match.
There will be 4 minutes of added on time. Feel the tension at Hampden Park. Kanchelskis. Ian Ferguson. Wallace chasing it. Away by Boyd, but not very convincingly. Kanchelskis. Just overstepped it. Goal kick.
Yeah, I think they'll try to get Kanchelskis on the ball as often as possible now. Let him take it into the corners. The Rangers can see the finishing line now. The clock is ticking away. You can almost reach out and touch this treble now.
Hendry and Amoruso both went for that. Those two have reigned supreme so far. Larsson has got a sniff here. Vidmar didn't know where it was. Larsson did. Corner to Celtic.
Yeah, and we're certainly seeing Mjällby going forward to the back post. Stubbs, Weghorst. And they have to put Stefan Klos under pressure here.
Maracic. Oh, it's gone all the way through to Stubbs, and Hendry was magnificent.
Once again, it's Colin Hendry. Both he and Lorenzo Amoruso have been superb in the second half.
And it comes from Maracic. That was far too near the keeper then. I'll tell you what, they didn't hang about with that corner because there's no time to. We played 2 minutes of injury time. There are another couple to go as the flag goes up against Rod Wallace.
I think we can take it this will be knocked long in.
Van Bronckhorst. Rangers could close in on the cup here. Kanchelskis. Alberts. Free kick, obstructed by Reggie Blinker, and Rangers will settle for that, thank you very much, because the seconds are ticking and ticking away.
Yeah, they'll be delighted at that. Chance to get into the Celtic half, get everybody pushed up. They won't be in a hurry to take this, and I don't think they'll mind if it finishes 10 yards over the crossbar into the Rangers' end of the ground. They're well aware that the clock continues to tick.
Lorenzo Amoruso standing over the free kick. So too Albert and Van Bronckhorst. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be Van Bronckhorst. It's off target, and Celtic are heading into the last chance saloon.
We've seen him score from this range, pulled that well wide of the target, but it does waste another few crucial seconds here for Rangers. They're about to make another change.
Don't think Hugh Dallas has spotted that. He's got plenty of other things to keep his eye on at the moment. Now he will, though. And Scott Wilson, the new blonde in the Rangers team, is going to come on in place of Gabriel Amato, I think. Indeed it will be. That'll take a few more seconds up. Amato given a wonderful ovation by the Rangers fans. He kisses the badge, but it could be the end of his Rangers career.
Yeah, he said a good afternoon, Gabriel Amato. He's held it up well. He's been up there on his own for most of this match, with Neil McCann earlier running off him. But he's done his job well this afternoon.
Lambert to Mjällby. There's no time for anything fancy now. That's what you've got to do. Get it up there. Tommy Johnson. Away by Amoruso. Hugh Dallas has checked his watch. Here's Van Bronckhorst. It's all over! Last season they were left with nothing. This season they have everything. It's a tremendous treble for Dick Advocat's new look Rangers team. And it really doesn't get much better than this. Rod Wallace, the match winner. At the start of the month, they clinched the title at Celtic Park. At the end of the month, they've seen off their oh-so-fierce rivals again to claim the Scottish Cup. The Rangers, the 97-98 season wasn't too great, but 98-99 has been just fine. Rangers remain the dominant force in Scottish football. This is their season, and it's been their decade, with 18 major trophies in the 1990s. It's been, in fact, the best decade in their immensely proud history.
Well, they were stung in when they lost the championship last season, ended up with nothing. And as well as Dick Advocaat, you have to hand it to David Murray as well for being prepared to spend the money as usual.
Let's go down touchline. Martin Geisler is with Dick Advocaat.
Dick, some achievement this. We'll get to the achievement itself in a second, but first give us your analysis of this game.
Well, I think the last 50 minutes was quite difficult. They took all the risk. We got the chance to score 2-0. At the end, I think it's a well-deserved win for the Rangers.
They had a penalty claim at the end. Did you see it clearly?
Yeah, that's happened in the game, but I couldn't see that. But before that, we had an open chance to score 2-0. That's happened in the game. But again, we are very happy that we won the treble.
The domestic treble in your first season at Rangers, how significant an achievement is this in your managerial career?
Yeah, well, we didn't expect that when we started in the beginning, but again, we took all the prizes and we are very happy. And now I go outside.
Well done, Dick, thank you.
So Rangers have won Lieutenant Scottish Cup. Graham Souness, what was your impression of their performance this afternoon?
Well, Rangers were very stubborn, they were very disciplined, hard team to play against. You can't say it was a great cup final, Jim. Celtic had their chances in the second half. If one of them had gone in on another day, one of the Rangers players wouldn't have got a block on it. It would have been an equaliser and it may have been a very different outcome. But you have to give it to Rangers because once they scored their goal, they did dig in, they defended very, very well. They got bodies back in and around the areas that matter. They worked extremely hard, very disciplined team.
Charlie, despair for the Celtic players, obviously. Were they robbed of a penalty?
No, I didn't think so. I thought at the first, when I first seen it, I thought it might have been a chance of that, but I think Barango showed that it hit the top of his shoulder. I'm sure the Celtic players and fans are extremely disappointed today. The Rangers, once they scored, didn't attack Celtic for about 30 minutes, but they'd made their mind up, set their stall. As Graham says, they were stubborn, and I think that's the way they were. The success today, I think, was down to the hard work done by the back lot, and of course Stephen Kloss had a very impressive second half. Celtic had their chances, but Rangers deserve it in the end.
Celtic, as you see, going up for their losers' medals. Let's rejoin Davy Provan and Ian Crocker.
Well, there are 20 steps to walk up here, but they probably feel like 120 steps for the players of Celtic as they trudge wearily up to receive their losers' medals. Tom Boyd, the captain. Cup final day is no day for losers. And in Glasgow, coming second is failure. Celtic are left without a trophy, and that's been an all too familiar scenario for them in recent times, despite their championship success of last season. And Alan Stubbs will surely be on his way back to England now. His Celtic career at an end. Rangers, Scottish Cup winners for the 28th time. Hugh Dallas, there's one big decision for him, which no doubt will be talked about forever, as to whether Celtic should have had a penalty. But then it wouldn't be an Old Firm game without a hint of controversy somewhere.
I certainly wouldn't criticise him for not giving it in. It was a very difficult one to call. I'm sure he called it as Dick Advocaat being thrown about in the air here down on the pitch. It was a difficult one for Hugh Dallas to call, and overall I thought he had a first-class match.
That's the only time they'll get away with doing that to Dick Advocaat, I can tell you. Rangers are going to pick this up for the 28th time. They're still 2 behind Celtic's total of triumphs, but they are catching up. It's time for Rangers to bounce up these steps. Lorenzo Amoruso is about to show the watching world that Rangers have won the Scottish Cup and the treble.
Well, one of the enduring images of last season's final, Ian, was Lorenzo Amoruso sitting on the ground, knowing that Rangers hadn't won anything. And he was completely disconsolate, determined to make up for it. And they've done it big time here this afternoon. The clean sweep for Lorenzo Amoruso and Rangers. Colin Hendry, absolutely outstanding at the back this afternoon when he had to be.
Neil McCann is a Scottish Cup winner for the second season running, and with different clubs. Ian Ferguson, the survivor of the last Old Cup final from 10 years ago. Rod Wallace, match winner today, outstanding all season. It's a ticker-tape greeting for Rangers, and you have to admire and you have to respect a truly amazing achievement. This is a new team that's been thrown together this season, yet they've got the lot.
Well, people talk about the money that Rangers have spent, Ian, but with that money comes an awful lot of pressure, an awful lot of expectation. They had to deliver the championship. Sure, the treble is the icing on the cake for Dick Advocaat.
What a first season in Scottish football. Jonathan Johansson didn't play a part today, but that's not going to stop him getting his hands on the trophy. Oh no. Rangers have taken their treble chance. They've hit the jackpot, indeed. Doing the treble is all the more remarkable when you consider the changes that have taken place at the club. Nearly 30 players came in or went out. Dick Advocaat built a new team. It's a new era for Rangers Football Club, but it's a new era that has dawned in some style. The Scottish League Cup is theirs this season. The Scottish Premier League trophy is theirs this season. So too now is that, the Tennent's Scottish Cup.
They also have a great foundation for next season, Ian. I mean, we saw Dick Advocaat bring in 14 players last summer. He won't have to do that this time around. I think we'll see 3 or 4 come in, 3 or 4 of real quality, and they're in far better shape now than they were 12 months ago.
Rangers will savour the day, savour the season, and savour the summer. But in 2 months and 2 days' time, next season will begin, and you can be sure that Rangers and Celtic will be at each other yet again. Rangers are relishing the moment, revelling in the joy and in the jubilation. Whilst for Celtic, there's total despair. The Old Firm story is going to run and run and run. It doesn't make pleasant reading for Celtic at this moment in time, but Rangers can't put it down. Let's hear from the match winner, Rod Wallace, with Martin.
Rod, you've scored a few goals this season, but that has to be the most important, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a big day for us today, and all the better that I scored the goal, and I'm well happy, yeah.
How big a moment is this for you in your career?
Oh, one of the best, mate, one of the best, definitely.
What did you expect from Rangers when you came up here, presumably not the Scottish treble in your first season?
Well, that's what dreams are made of, and hopefully I had a good dream, and I made up with the treble, so that's good.
What does the success go down to?
Sorry?
What do you put the success of Rangers this season down to?
Just a good team, mate.
And what happens next season? What can we expect from here?
Oh, we'll wait and see, no one knows.
Well done, Rod, congratulations.
Well, Rod Wallace didn't cost any money, wages apart, which is not bad when you consider that Rangers have spent £38 million. Let's hear from the treble-winning captain, Lorenzo Amoruso.
Lorenzo, man of the match from Sky Sports, congratulations. How big a day was this in terms of your career as a whole?
It's been not just this day, I think the whole season has been the best season of my life. I think when you win, always beautiful, it's great, it's marvelous, because the feeling when you win with the fans, with the friends, with everybody who loves Rangers, is marvelous. And then I think it's great to win, absolutely.
You're clutching this cup. What does winning the treble in Scotland mean to you?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Scottish. I think to win the treble is always difficult in every country. In Scotland's work today because we played against an excellent team against Celtic, but I think we deserve to win the treble, and in the end we won.
If we can look at the game for a second, Celtic had a penalty claim in the last couple of minutes. Where did that ball hit you?
No, I just thought in my chest, no problem at all. You can see tonight on television, no problem at all. No doubt about that.
Celebration tonight, Lorenzo?
Yeah, enjoy your party.
Well done, congratulations.
David, you don't suppose Lorenzo's pretty happy?
Well, I feel he's a genuine passion for his football club, Ian, and so many of the foreigners are accused of being mercenaries coming over here simply for the money. But this lad, Amoruso, he really has a real passion for Rangers.
He's been top man, has Lorenzo Amoruso, but he was helped out today by another man who reigns supreme, Colin Hendry. He's with Martin.
Colin, when you came up to Ibrox, what did you expect in your first season? Is this beyond even your wildest expectations?
It's beyond everybody's expectations, to be fair. 3 trophies in the first season, incredible. You know, it's just shows how far we've come in such a short space of time, you know.
What emotions went through your mind when you lifted that cup?
Oh, I'm happy for my parents, you know, and my wife and the children. That's what I'm happy for.
What can we expect from Rangers next season? You've given yourself a hard job to beat, haven't you?
Well, unless we do the same again, we're failures, aren't we? I'm looking forward to the Champions League, though.
It's good doing it for these people behind you, I suppose.
The best, that's the song, innit? Or the best. Well done.
Indeed, simply the best is their song. And songs rarely come more appropriate than that. It has been a simply sensational season. Rangers have now won 98 major honours in their history, more than any other club in the world. At the start of May, they clinched the title at Celtic. At the end of it, the Scottish Cup that is in their hands. I don't think the spending has stopped somehow, because Rangers want to get better and better. Let's hear from one of their old troopers, in amongst the new boys, Ian Ferguson with Martin.
Ian, of anybody you would imagine this win means more to you than anybody else in the Rangers squad. Put into words for us what this treble means to you.
Oh, it's absolutely magnificent. I can't explain how, but I've been out for 5.5 months, and then to come back into the team when they're going for the Scottish Cup was absolutely amazing.
Did you expect to get back in today?
No, I did not. No, I was away training with the boys. The gaffer named his team and then named the subs, and I was over the moon.
What went through your mind when he told you?
Was that, sorry?
What went through your mind when he told you?
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I've been out for so long, and to come back into 2 reserve games and then come back into this is amazing.
Is this the revival of Ian Ferguson?
I hope so. You know, I've been a few injuries, and hopefully I can start again at pre-season and just get on with it.
Congratulations, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, he was involved in the last Old Firm Cup final 10 years ago. He's got a testimonial coming up in July against Sunderland. But there you see what it's all about on a day like this. It's all about leaving Hampden Park with that piece of silverware. It's been a dazzling decade for Rangers. An extraordinary, an exceptional end to the 20th century. 18 trophies across the decade, out of 30 that were up for grabs in Scotland. I think they're going to have a pretty good summer, David.
Well, Walter Smith was always going to be a hard act to follow, Ian. And there was so much pressure on Dick Advocaat, came with a big reputation, and they've delivered big time.
Well, let's hear from one of their stars of the season, a man who's been an inspiration, the Dutchman Giovanni van Bronckhorst.
Giovanni, on the championship winning day, you said to me you'd never lifted a trophy. Now you've lifted 3 in the space of just a few weeks. How does it feel?
It feels good. I think it's a good achievement for the whole team that we won three trophies in 1 year, so credit to all the players.
What do you put that success down to?
I don't know. I think it's a combination of the coach and the players, and We knew we are capable of good things, and I think we showed this year that we've done it.
How much do you owe to Dick Advocaat for bringing you over here?
Oh, I think a lot. I think he brought me here, and I lifted 3 trophies in my first year, so I'm very happy with my move.
Were you one of those players who were involved in throwing him up in the air?
Yeah.
Is he going to give you grief for that later on?
I hope so.
Well done. Cheers, Jovan.
Dick Advocaat has taken Rangers to their 6th treble. They last did it in 1993. And Marusso and Hendry were just outstanding today. Celtic had won the previous 3 Old Firm Cup finals, all by a 1-0 scoreline. But it's payback time for Rangers. They've won it by a 1-0 scoreline. Needless to say, that's the only half of Hampden Park that people are in at the moment. The Celtic fans will experience the hurt and the pain of Rangers' gain. The season belongs to Rangers, treble winners in Scotland.
Well, there's a lot more action still to come tonight on our 3 Sky Sports channels. Over on Sky Sports 1 now, there's live World Cup cricket, England against India, and at 8:30, all the day's cricket news in the Cricket World Cup Centre. At 10:30, there's live World Championship boxing, and at 3:30, in the early hours of the morning, live rugby union from New Zealand. Coming up on Sky Sports 2 at 5:30, more live World Cup cricket, continued coverage of the match between Zimbabwe and South Africa, and at 9, live golf from the US Tour. And here on Sky Sports 3 tonight, there's live horse racing from Lingfield and Warwick. And at 8, live Spanish football as Atletico Bilbao take on Barcelona. All that still to come tonight on our 3 Sky Sports channels. Well, Rangers have won the Tennant Scottish Cup, and the trophy is heading back across the city to Ibrox Stadium. And there, of course, it will join the SPL Championship trophy and the League Cup, because they have done the treble. More reaction to it all after this.
Years ago, Middlesbrough's last win, January '89 at Ayresome Park, Peter Davenport scored